joining us is the co-founder and CEO Ankush Sachdeva. Ankush, always a pleasure talking to you. My first question is, what are you doing? Are you done with fundraisers for this year? What are you going to do with all of this money?
Thank you, Nayantara, for inviting me here. It seems I'm a regular on your show now, for the good reasons, hopefully. I think it's been an incredible year for us overall in terms of growth of both engagement, revenue, the investor interest, and I think we've just continued to engage with investors, and we're happy to get some new folks on our cap table this time. I think it's a very large market, also very capital intensive. I think everyone knows the price at the end of it. So there are more people, more than a handful of people who want to jump in and be a part of a journey.
Okay, so they want to be a part of your journey. Is it that FOMO which is kicking in? But the bigger question also, Ankush, I want to ask you is, are you done for some time? Are you looking to raise more funds? Are you, what is the game plan?
Yeah, Nayantara, I would not say never say never kind of a thing. That we still have a lot of interest. We were oversubscribed in this round itself. So at a good price with great partners, if they want to join in, I think we're always open. But yeah, I think with this capital, I think we have a very large war chest with us, and we are I think investing heavily in our user acquisition, acquiring creators, retaining creators, helping them monetize on the platform. A large part goes into just investing in the entire feed ranking AI infra, because that's the core competency of the company, that we have to be very, very good at ranking your feed when you open any of our apps. And I think I've mentioned this in the past as well. We're investing very heavily building a global AI org, which itself is a very capital intensive journey. So yeah, I think we are investing on all the right places for the long term, and we hope that all of this will give us a positive return in the future.
You've used the phrase war chest. What do you mean by war chest? Can it be the M&A war chest? Because 2021 has also been a year of exits, of consolidation. Maybe not in your space that much, but since you said war chest.
No, I think I meant it in a way that it is a very large market, and there are very large, almost $1 trillion incumbents trying to fight in the same battle. So you need to be ready for anything. And yeah, M&A is one of them. You could, if there's a great opportunity, be it talent-wise, be it distribution-wise, you would love to evaluate and see where it goes.
Very diplomatic answer. But so basically you're open to M&As. Ankush, I figured that out. Okay. Now, we are also recording this interview on a day where you've had the US Fed signaling a war against inflation. Basically, they're going to do 3 interest rate hikes. A lot of economists over there that are now saying the era of easy money may be behind us. Is that the case even for the private markets? And is that going to impact your fundraise exercises going forward? Point I'm also trying to raise is, have you closed this round or you can raise more?
Yeah, I think we are in definitely a very volatile macro. And you rightly said, as Fed is proposing to raise the interest rates next year, it could very well have an impact on the liquidity in the market. And I think so far we've not seen that happening in the Indian ecosystem. I think great startups are still attracting a lot of capital. So we haven't seen that thing sort of dampen the spirits in India so far. But again, I think it's a very volatile market. Every entrepreneur should be very, very cautious that whatever capital you are able to raise today, a lot of the investors might not be for the long term. They might just enter today and then not be there tomorrow. So therefore, when we pick investors, we always have that lens that are they really interested in the core of what we do, and will they stay long term, or are they just like hobbyists coming in to India for a picnic and then they'll go away later?
You raised almost $1 billion this year. You give me a little idea of what you're going to do. Are you going to share some of that with your employees as well? Because, talent is hard to come by. You even have someone like Elon Musk talking about engineers on Twitter. Everyone has to pay a lot more for talent. Will you have to use a lot of that for this?
No, I think that's a very, very good point, Nayantara. I think this is one thing which we did, I think, earlier in the year as well. After our first round, we did a buyback of roughly 20 million. And I can personally tell you that has had a massive impact within our company, how people look at ESOPs. I think so far we were always positioning it as a way of wealth creation. But I think when people really see that happening, it changes the perspective. It makes people very, very long term. So I'm very, very bullish that this is one thing that we will keep doing regularly, ESOP buybacks, and you would probably see another happening soon enough. But I think it's a very good positive force for the ecosystem that people who take bet with you as an entrepreneur early on should get very handsomely rewarded as the company does well, along with the entrepreneur.
Okay, now let's move away from all of this and talk more about your dhanda. Okay, you guys have been talking about social commerce. How has that panned out when it comes to both ShareChat and Moj? What are the early indications and what's the plan then for 2022?
Yes, I think social commerce is a very interesting way of monetizing that we see. I think we've already made our partnership with Flipkart public, where we would enable our Moj influencers to essentially be able to take their fans on a Flipkart page to buy things. It could be, for example, if I'm a Moj customer, I'm swiping through Moj videos, I happen to like a sari or a lehenga, there's a buy now button right there, which if I click, I can go to the same product on Flipkart and then buy that thing. It could also be within live stream, where you as an influencer have a lot of command over your fans, where you can nudge them to buy certain things, and they can again buy it clicking on the app, but the experience then is handled by Flipkart, which already has a pan-India logistics. So I think that is what we are envisioning. An important part of it will also be live stream. So that was in works last few quarters. We're already live now. I'm happy to share that we're live with live streaming on Moj. And very soon we will also enable commerce on top of live in the next few quarters.
Okay, so that's a big feat. Live stream. I know you've been talking about that. What's been the response, and how will social commerce work on a live stream?
Yeah, so I think the response has been great so far. So it has probably been the most requested feature if you talk to creators on Moj, that they put a lot of short videos on the platform, but they wanted a forum where they could interact with their fans one-on-one, or maybe in a more direct sort of way. And we have only opened it for our top creators so far. So they are going there, meeting their fans, having a discussion. It's a very warm sort of creator fan community getting formed. I think when over time, and we start rolling this out to more creators, we want to eventually also enable commerce. That if you are, let's say, an educational creator, you go live and let's say you teach or you create IAS preparation content. You can go there on the live. A lot of your fans will also be preparing for IAS. You can tell them your journey. You can tell them which books you read through during your journey. And while you are saying that on a live, the links of those books will come on that live stream in real time. And the fans who are watching your stream could click that and buy that ASAP. So it would be more like creators nudging their fans through a story, through a journey, and then their fans would go and complete the transaction on the Flipkart app.
Oh, that's really interesting. And are you going to do all of this only with Flipkart? I would imagine, actually, I don't know. Is it exclusive? Are you looking at others too?
So I think we thought very hard about it, that if we want to scale this really, really fast, we don't want to do this in-house in the short term because it is a very, very hard, complex problem to solve logistics supply chain across India. And we wanted a great partner who has already solved it. and Flipkart is the leading e-commerce marketplace in the country, and therefore we thought it's best we partner with them and see how it goes.
Okay, so for all categories, it's going to be with Flipkart. But tell me something. I know it's early days, but it is interesting, right? And like everybody's talking about how social commerce is going to be the next big thing. I think Kunal Shah can't stop talking enough about it from Cred. Razorpay was recently telling me that a lot of the leads that they actually see, the majority of them come from social media. How are you going to scale this up? And in the early days, what are the popular categories? Have you figured out what kind of a demographic? Have you done any interesting data analytics? What would be the average purchase, for example?
Yeah, I think probably early days to get data, but I think we do have few categories which we believe are very, very sort of adjacent to our current content use cases. So I think if you see a lot of the passive intent that gets generated in a customer to buy certain things today is probably on the fashion category, where if even if a creator is, for example, not creating a fashion content, maybe they're just creating a dance content or lip sync content, but they're wearing a beautiful sari, let's say, there is a lot of passive intent which is generated by a lot of customers who are swiping the video. So we believe fashion would be one of the first categories which will do really well, both on static content and on live stream in terms of driving commerce. But I think in the long term, I believe there are many different products that can be sold, and even very long tail products, which I guess you've seen on TV in the past decade, maybe a mixer grinder, something that makes life easy for a housewife. All those categories also really work well because they're all sort of very dependent on very good persuasion by the seller to really be sold. So I think those long tail categories will also come in eventually and do well on the platform.
I'm going to ask this question on behalf of all of those who want to maybe one day have this option thrown open to them on Moj and ShareChat. How does a creator make money? And are you doing other things also for creators to make money on your platforms?
Yeah, I think making money for creators is the goal that we're going in this year with. Like it's a big theme within our both our products, that we have to enable creators to make money. Video commerce, live commerce is just one of the ways, but we are also going heavy, for example, on virtual gifting, where if you go live, your fans can tip you or gift you like a virtual crown or things of that nature. That is already very big. For example, on ShareChat, we already have audio chat rooms with virtual gifting, which is doing phenomenally well. So there is a lot of appetite in the Indian ecosystem to tipping. So that's the other one, and I think the third one would be enabling brands to be connected with influencers to actually tell their story to their other users on Moj. For example, a brand like Unilever could tap into a few influencers who gel well with their brand image, and those creators will then create advertisements for those brands and share it on Moj. So I think that ways we can harness the immense creativity of our ecosystem to help brands tell a better story. So that's the third one we will have on the platform.
Have you taken Unilever as just a hypothetical situation, or this is happening with Unilever?
No, I think FMCG are large spenders on ShareChat and Moj in general. So I think it was an example, but I think they are large spenders in any case.
Okay. As I start winding down this interview, Ankush, in the past when you have been here on ET Now, particularly the last two times when you raised funds, you talked a lot about going overseas. You talked a lot about using a lot of the capital raised for machine learning and artificial intelligence. Any updates?
Yeah, I think we've been very committed on that promise of ours that we will build the best global AI org out of India, and I'm happy to share that we've now gone beyond just London and US. We're now getting folks from Slovakia, Greece, Russia, with like many different long tail of countries. And given that we're fully remote as an org, it doesn't really matter to us which country you are from. And I think that has opened up massive pools of talent for us to go after. And I think this has been probably one of the game changing moves that we have done as a company in the last 1 year.
Eastern European, like they're viewing they're viewing the Indian creators' content over there. Like what kind?
They're not watching content, but these are like great machine learning feed ranking folks, ex Facebook, Google, YouTube kind of folks. People have done this in other great tech companies, and we need more of these talent, at least at a senior level. And this senior talent pool is actually grooming. I think the bulk of our team is still in India, the junior team, and they're grooming the junior team to build, like, to make them better data scientists, better ML engineers. So I think in some way we're also grooming the next generation of ML engineering leaders out of India. But they need some guidance and support in the initial days, and that is why we are getting talent from outside as of now.
The boss, be honest. Have you had to go there because you couldn't find enough talent in the developed markets? Is this also cheaper talent?
No, we've actually not kept that bar because, as you remember, we actually started going after SF and London. These are not nowhere cheap markets. But I think after that, there's also a trend of a lot of people moving back because even the big tech companies are actually going remote. I think recently Apple also announced that they will be remote for an indefinite amount of time. I think that is also making a lot of people travel back to their home countries in general. I think that is all playing out at a global scale, and we don't have any constraint. Like we are fine hiring from anywhere as long as the talent meets a bar.
With that, Ankush, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out and joining us here. 3 fundraisers done in 2021. Valuation is Zoom. What a year it has turned out to be. And as you said, your focus for 2022 will be, of course, to help creators build content. And you didn't say it, but I can imagine M&A is featuring big over there as well. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Nayantara.